What's up guys, Jakob Owens here for the Buff Nerds, and recently I directed a few videos for the Bone Thugs. Now recently we just put out a video called Fantasy. It got a lot of love from you guys. A lot of you guys were hitting me up in my Instagram DMs asking me about the video and like how we lit it and how it was colored. And so I wanted to do a little breakdown of the video, how we shot it, how it looked, how we lit it, and just kind of give you a little behind the scenes look into a professional music video set that I did for the Bone Thugs. So I'm gonna jump over to the computer and let's get into it. Alright guys, so now let's break down the fantasy video. I'm just gonna kind of go through here. I have a lot of behind the scenes pictures. I have a lot of behind the scenes video and different things like that, and I'm gonna kind of go through, break down the shots as well as the lighting. So this was our main performance shot of the whole kind of video. It's the main roller rink performance shot, and basically the lighting setup for this, we had lights set up around the whole entire rink. You can see little lights here. We got one here, we got one here mounted up here. We had some par cans. These are called par can lights with different colored gels in each of them, mounted along the wall over here, and then the wall over here as well. You can't see them right here, but then in each corner of the rink we threw up a 1K or a 2K, I can't remember which exactly, and then we threw on different colored gels. So on this side of the rink we have blue, and then on the opposite side of the rink you'll see there's like yellow. Again, here you can see one of the par cans over here, and the whole idea of the video is to get it to be as fun and colorful as possible. What we did is throw on as many party gels as possible to really fill out the rink. Here you go, par cans again, and you can see the effect they have on the wood floors here. Again, these are par cans all the way around the room. The flares that you can see come in, we didn't shoot anamorphic. Any of the flares that you see in this video are in fact Tropic color flares that in editing I just post overlaid. I laid over right here. Oop, you can see right here there's kind of a flare coming in here, and that's a Tropic color flare that I just overlaid to kind of give this effect of flares coming in and out of the lens. Another flare over here. And now here you can see the opposite, kind of the flip side, reverse of that world. We have a 2K back here, and we have another gel. Like I said, I think we have yellow on this side in this corner as well, to kind of create the diverse look. So we transition from blue to pink to yellow, and keep it just constantly looking different, with different shades hitting them back here. So you can see we have a pink rim here, and we can see faint blue just touching her leg from all the way back in the corner, and then the yellow rim here. So wherever they're moving, because we were rotating 360 degrees, we wanted there to be some type of colorful light hitting them. Here in the corner you can see one more. We threw a red gel up on this guy over here, and I don't think that was a 2K. You can tell it's definitely not as strong as the one we had back here. I think this might have been a 1K or another par can. Might have been a par can actually. So for this shot right here, this is another kind of main performance shot. Let me try and find some behind the scenes photos here of that whole scene. So here's them skating around, and anytime we did any of the close-up skating shots, we had one of our on-hand grips running around with a 1x1 light gear. I think it might have been light gear. 1x1, basically LED light. We had a little diffusion in front of it and a gel. So in this case, you can see the gel we had was some type of yellow color that's lighting her right there. Because she was moving and skating around 360 degrees, we couldn't have a light on a stand just sitting up somewhere, because then we couldn't shoot that way, because you would just see this light in the middle of the floor with a stand. So this was running around in every direction wherever Pascal the Steadicam moved to light her. I think we have another example of that over here. So again, when they're skating together, this time we switched up the gel color, and he's running around next to the Steadicam operator with that 1x1. See if we can find another example of that. So for the main performance as well, same kind of setup. All the lights throughout the day we left on around the rink, the different par cans and the 2Ks, 1Ks, etc. But we were always switching up the color gel depending on the shot and the artist or the person in front of the camera. So again, for this performance shot, kept the lighting pretty much the same. The only other thing that we threw in was, again, moving around with the Steadicam to light the subject here that is in front of the camera. So here again, one by one with a little diffusion to soften it, to light our main subject. That was essentially our key light when operating Steadicam on the floor. Same kind of thing here. You can see that blue gel affecting Jesse Rankins here. He was the main subject in that shot. So that's essentially this shot, but just, you know, the flip side here. You can see how the gel is affecting him and keying him while they're not being affected. So this is one of my favorite setups in the video. I've always wanted to use these things in a video, and I thought this video would be perfect because it kind of has that funky retro vibe, very colorful, and I knew lights would kind of like glimmer. They would glimmer off the lights. So what we did is we threw up some C-stands. I went and bought these. I think they're 3x9 like party door streamers for like doorways and stuff to walk through. And we took 3 of them and stitched them together. So we have 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and we just taped them to the top of the C-stands, a rod running across, and let them hang. And then from there, you can see we have the 1x1 light gear with a blue CT, it looks like a teal color actually, not CTB, thrown up here to act as a back rim light. It also, you can see, affects the streamers here and gives them a little bit of a blue edge. And then on each side of the corners of this setup, we also had a Parcan light, or actually it might have been a Joe Lico. It looks like a Joe Lico here. Basically spraying through to not only help create a rim on each side, but also to give a nice shimmer to these different things. So this was a close-up shot. We never went too wide because obviously you would see all this junk around here, but this was a cool little glamour shot. And then right off to the side here, you can tell with how I'm being lit, we had a key light throwing on some CTO. And each artist we had in this different setup, they were lit slightly with different colors, so this just happened to be the setup at the time. I might have another example. Here we go. You can see, so we have a Joe Lico bouncing off a beadboard, and that's what's acting as the key light, because if we would have had the Joe Lico pointing directly at me, it would have just been way too hard and just overexposed. So what we're doing is we're bouncing the light off of a white beadboard, and that light now reflects back and bounces into me, and that's what's lighting me there. And then you can see the blue accent light coming from the back side here, giving me a nice little side light and a rim light. And again, we got the 2 back lights lighting up the streamers in the back of my head and giving me a nice edge. There's that shot from afar, me looking on. Again, me looking on. And you can see bouncing into the beadboard, coming back. And then we also had another key light, a Joe Lico, coming through some diffusion. We shot that straight through some diffusion to kind of give a nice contrast to the CTO coming from here. So we have orange, teal, and that gives a nice little color balance and split. Here you can see the 1x1 in this shot here with Mr. Busybone. I really enjoyed this one. It looks really great on camera. Let's see if I can find a shot of that. Yeah, so here it is right here in action. So you can just see it looks really good with all the shimmering light and different colors. And we have the CTO on this side, the CTB, or I guess teal on this side, giving them a nice little division and contrast of light here. So it looks really, really good. Luckily, this skating rink had a nice setup from different lights at their DJ board. So I would literally go over to the DJ board and I would select different like setups, and this light that would shine in the disco ball would be different colors. These lights up here, their in-house lights, would change different colors. They had these LED bars that would change colors. These other kind of like disco lights that would shine down on the floor and around. So I would just press and pick different setups, lighting setups, depending on what the scene was. They had a lot of different like color variations and stuff, so that was cool. It was kind of pre-lit in a sense that way, but we needed to add everything around the arena to give it the look we really wanted it to have. Oh, perfect. Here's a really wide of the whole scene. Totally forgot that we used this is a QUASAR science light down here. So we just ran a stinger all the way to it to kind of give a soft little uplight here and a nice little glow to accent this key light bouncing here. Just a nice little glow with the QUASAR science. It's funny, we kept stepping on this over and over because we kept forgetting that it was there. And I think everyone on the crew and every artist bumped into it or kicked it at some point. So it just became a running joke on set, and that was pretty funny. Same shot. You can see the QUASAR science tube down here. We wrapped a gel. We wrapped some, again, to complement the CTO over here. We wrapped it in some CTO, so it had that same look, just kind of shining on him right here. I'm crazy. There you can see the camera a little more in depth. So yeah, you can see the Cook lenses here, the Arri Alexa Mini, and the Steadicam setup by Master DP Pascal. So again, yeah, this is just one of my favorite looks. It looks so good to me. I love all the colors. I love really mixing colors. It's a lot of fun to really just play a bunch of colors and watch how they blend. So if that's something you're, thinking about doing, I would, mess around with that and see how that works, because you can just see how the pinks and the blues and the yellows kind of overlap, and they just create this cool mixture of light and color. And so that this shot turned out, and probably is my favorite of the video, if not the main performance under the disco ball right here. I really like how this shot happened and turned out, just because of the disco ball, the scale of the room, all the different colors. That one turned out really cool as well. And here you can see the light gear 1x1 panel in action, where we had the blue gel across the front. You can see how Busy Bone is lit up here and keyed with the blue, which accents this backlight nicely. And you can see how Crazy Bone's not lit with this blue, because we used that as the key light for a subject that was performing, so it really made them pop out from the background. Now I think I have some behind the scenes video over here. I'm just gonna run through a couple of these things. You can see in action here on that one setup with the streamers, running Steadicam, just trying some test shots out. Here's me checking out the monitor when we're doing some B-roll skating. You can see the QUASAR science tube there. So you can see him running around with the light there, lighting her as Pascal moves around the rink, following her. You can see she's lit nicely, trying to catch up and get to his position. There we we didn't have diffusion on there, but now we do. But you can see how that's kind of creating the spotlight effect for her and really breaking her off from the background, because right there, when they're that far away, she doesn't really stand out from the background. So when you can get nice and close and key her, that's when you're going to have that separation, and it's going to look really good. Again, this is one of their different setups. You could switch the lighting, and so red and green bouncing into the disco ball. Just a nice little behind the scenes shot of one of the performances from behind the monitor. That's our first AC pulling focus. That's what he's doing there, making sure the shot is in focus. There's me and Pascal talking about the shot that we wanted to get. Another shot looking at the performance with the streamers. Sorry for the shakiness of the video, guys. And again, some more B-roll. There's me with the first AC looking out over the shot, making sure everything's right. He's pulling focus. And again, you can see him running around with the light, trying to light them as Pascal moves and gets them on the Steadicam. And lastly, this was funny. We captured Will. So I wanted the streamers back here to move while they're performing to create a little energy in the shot. It's just little things like that you need to think of, rather than them just hanging still, to have them kind of moving and waving in the background and having the light glimmer off of them. We needed to wave something to create a little bit of wind, and so there was a pizza box right on the lunch table, and I grabbed the pizza box and handed it to Will and was like, "Will, just start fanning." And so then we caught him on video, and he was a little embarrassed, but that's Will cinematic right there, blowing. So you can see him in action moving around and kind of shimmering in the light, and they weren't doing that until we waved the pizza box. So you got to think of little details like that when you're directing or DPing a video. Think critically and how you can make the shot better. There's always a way to make the shot better. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you got a little insight as to how we shot this video, how we lit this video, and how we got the look that we did. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next breakdown. All right, guys, peace.